Greetings from Malaysia. Let me first congratulate and thank Dr. Rupa Shah and her full team in organizing this huge seminar called First Health Summit 2022. And it's a great effort to get all these plant-based doctors and whole food plant-based doctors to this experts to take part in this program. And I'm quite happy to note that there are more than 26 of them in this seminar who are giving talks on various topics. And it was all interesting as I was listening to all those talks in the past few days. Let me first tell you that let me introduce myself first. Yeah, I'm Dr. Vythi, and I practice and stay in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And for those who are not sure where Malaysia is, let me tell you, it is in Southeast Asia, and we are sandwiched between Thailand in the north and Singapore in the south. So I'm sure you'll know what Singapore is. So Malaysia is not a difficult thing. And Malaysia is about the size of Rajasthan or a little bit smaller. And it has got a population of 33 million. Yeah. And most of them are meat-based. We get only about maybe 2% or less of vegetarians. And vegans or plant-based is a fraction of it. Yeah. And in spite of all these technologies and new medications, we find that NCDs are on the rise. Yeah, and being our country being a multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multi-religious, and also a multi-cuisine country, we find that food is ample, especially the meat-based food. So that is the reason why probably people are not moving towards what we really want them to do. Yeah. But anyway, it'll take some time. Let me share the screen and see what we have been doing on our end to improve these NCDs, especially diabetes. Yeah, let me share the screen. Okay. Okay. In fact, Tim started this program with me. It is called Plant-Based Health Alliance because he, within a month, 6 months, he lost 25 kgs on his own. He wanted to change to whole food plant-based. He was reading a lot of books from America and listening to Dr. Neil Barnard, etc. And he decided to change from the standard American diet to whole food plant-based diet. And within 6 months, he lost almost 25 kgs. Yeah, 25 kgs. So we started the program because he had the technology, IT technology, and he was looking for a plant-based doctor, and he found me. And with him, we started this program, and we had 3 other doctors joining us, chefs, nutritionists, and fitness coach. Yeah, and sorry. So although medicine is getting better, we are living even longer. But what is really going on, because if we look at communicable diseases, they are on the decline because of all these vaccines and, disease control. So these are coming down, but somehow lifestyle diseases like chronic diabetes, obesity, hypertension, cardiovascular, all these are going higher and higher, and even the mortality is also high. So we find that whether food could be one of the factors that could change this lifestyle. Yeah. Malaysia, if you look at our diet and disease, we are about 50% overweight, and we seem to be the fattest nation in Southeast Asia or even Asia. Yeah, and it is no different among the students, especially in schools, where you find that they are also overweight. Yeah, and cholesterol is about 40%. Hypertension is about 30%, and diabetes about 20%. And I'm sure this is across the board in this Indian subcontinent and also in our region. Yeah, it's about that percentage. And although we find that physical activity in the past number of years have gone up, smoking has been cut down, alcohol has been cut down, but diseases seems to be on the rise. Yeah. So if you look at Malaysian diet, the morbidity survey in 2019, it showed only about 5% of the population were eating the recommended daily amount of fruits and vegetables. Yeah. So this is a very sad thing, because meat is available very, very freely and cheap. So that is the reason why they opt for meat-based diet. And also the fast food has come like a wave from US, from Canada, from Australia. So all these things have skyrocketed, and people just continue eating every day. Yeah. So what we did was, we wanted to start a medicine program, a food as medicine program in Malaysia. And we started this in 2020 when the pandemic started, COVID-19 pandemic started. We started this program. It was a 14-day challenge, that is plant-based health challenge. Initially, we had physical, but after the first one, we started going online because of the pandemic. Everywhere it was closed. Yeah, we had about we had about close to about 700 participants. Many were celebrities, even doctors participated. And the key features of this health challenge is doing a blood test before and after, and also delivery of food to their doorstep, so that they will not have to look for food. Yeah, and we used Grab, Uber, to make sure that they get the food at the right time. Yeah, so we started with lunch and dinner, and we followed the Ministry of Health guideline on dietary guideline, where they say in Bahasa they will call it a suku separo, or quarter and a half. So we replaced this with plant-based diet. So the first 50% of the plate was just fruits and vegetables. The other quarter was protein, and the other quarter was cereals and oil. Yeah, that's how we started. And these are the meals that we prepare. We had 28 different types of meals for the 2 weeks, and it was basically localized food. Yeah, because of the multi-ethnicity, we had to cater for Chinese, Malays, the whites, and also Indians. So we had Indian food, Chinese, Thai food, some of this European food, yeah, even Korean food we had. So that's how we did this program, yeah. And the results showed that after the 2 weeks of challenge, even if we take the 7 days challenge, the weight came down by about 2 to 3 kgs. Yeah, there's only one case where it came down to 7 because he was doing some of this intermittent fasting and increased his exercise. Yeah, so that was the result that we saw after that challenge. Yeah, and cholesterol from 5.4 it went down to 4.4, and LDL from 3.34 to 2.63. This is overall. This is actually a summary of the overall results that we got. Yeah, and sugar was from 5.7, it came down to 5.6, and the population that we took was everybody. That means young, old, with disease, without disease. So it was an average. So these are the results that we got. And fasting sugar was from 4.7 to 4.6. Yeah. So even in spite of just 2 weeks, the HbA1c came down by 0.1, which I think is good. Yeah. And this lady, I'd like to just mention something about this Rachel. She reluctantly joined in June 2021. Her main aim was to reduce her cholesterol and lose weight. And she got the results and learned that she was diabetic with a HbA1c of 7.3. So she started this diet and she went on for almost 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. And we find that within 3 months, her results came to almost normal, except for the LDL. Otherwise, it was all normal. So she was so convinced that she is still following plant-based diet. Yeah. And once we finish all this program, we put them into an alumni group. This alumni group is basically for all those participants who have joined this program. They go into the alumni group, and from time to time, we give them some videos, talks, so that they will keep in touch with plant-based food rather than go back to their usual meat-based food. Yeah, and reversal diabetes. I was surprised that even with 1 or 2 months of this program, or even 6 months, people can be off insulin and medication. Yeah, this is one of the videos that I'd like to show you. It's a 5-minute video of a Malay couple, how they did as far as diabetes is concerned. Yeah, health is concerned. Yeah.
So before I was plant-based, I think my weight was always in the slightly overweight lah. I wouldn't say I was obese, but it was overweight lah. Now all my skinny jeans now can fit nicely. Before this, I got to struggle also lah to put on the belt or to put on the button.
Yes, I did have acne skin before, and when I removed eggs from my diet, then my skin basically, I had better complexion. I didn't have the breakouts.
Hi, my name is Faisal, and I have an IT background, and I'm here together with my wife, Aina.
I'm Aina. I am trained as a veterinarian, but now I'm actually stay-at-home mom with 3 children. It was just me, vegetarian, semi-vegetarian myself first, and then we got married. And when we had our first child, I allowed him to actually eat what other people were eating because I was not sure of the nutritional aspect. At about 3 to 4 years old, we saw that he was already having all sorts of health issues. He had eczema, he had respiratory issues. And in that year, we were in and out of the hospital like once every month. And that's when we decided to learn about health and wellness properly. Both of us did a diploma in diet and nutrition. And that's when we learned that, the principles of healing is the same. And we were exposed to the whole food plant-based diet.
The body was designed to be able to heal itself, but we just need to provide the right tools and raw ingredients lah, to make it work properly and optimally.
To when we went whole foods plant-based, Basically, we have not had to go to the hospital for the past few years, except when he fell and he needed stitches. Every child is different, and each child would have the different genes as well. But if we were to compare him and the other two siblings, was the one who had all these issues, but the other two siblings have not had any respiratory or skin condition. We stayed with my father, although we ate all the plant-based foods, but he continued on eating his own foods. In 2019, he had a massive stroke. It blocked half of his right hemisphere of the brain. What he had, the stroke, was definitely due to his uncontrolled diabetes because he didn't want to do anything about it. The doctor already put him on 4 times insulin jabs per day, and he was on medication twice per day. We put him on a whole foods plant-based diet, minimal sugar, oil and salt, 15.9 when he started, HbA1c. 2 months after being on whole food plant-based diet, the doctors could remove his insulin, all. And the doctor says, okay, let's just continue with his tablet medication. And within 6 months, they took him off all diabetic medication because his HbA1c already went down to about 5 to 6. And now it has been 3 years since he has been on whole food plant-based, and his HbA1c has been about 5.
We eat plant-based foods for our health, the environment, and for the animals.
Personally, we understand the benefits of it, and we've actually studied it and researched it ourselves and all that. And I think we feel responsible that more people need to know about it. To all those out there, because we know that a lot of people are suffering, but they do not have a solution and an answer. And we know and we truly believe that this can be a way for everyone to achieve better health overall. And not only that, they also contributing back to the environment and to the planet and for the future generations as well.
Sorry. Then we, since even doctors took part in this program, we got these feedbacks from some senior doctors who, she's a consultant in Klang Hospital, and she's chairman of Diabetes Malaysia. And this all she has to say, that it's good experience. As a general practitioner who had many problems, and he too was happy that he took part in this program. Yeah. In August, what we did was we said, let us concentrate on diabetics. So we went to the Diabetic Association Malaysia, and we spoke to one section of the population, rather one region, and we told them whether we'd like to take part in these programs. Yeah, and they agreed, and we had about 25 participants initially, and we had to take off others because some of them were healthy and some of them did not have diabetes. So we wanted to take only those with diabetics. Yeah. And we provided lunch and dinner before and after health checks, and also compulsory orientation workshops weekly. Yeah. And to give guidance to them, and advice and support group was there all the time with chefs and fitness coach, etc. Yeah. So this is the type of thing that we share with them in the mornings, motivational probably messages. So this is to just keep them going. Yeah. And this food that we prepared, and for breakfast, we tell them to prepare their own, but we give them all the we give them some recipes and how to make it so that they can do it at home, yeah, for snacks and breakfast, yeah. Only we provided lunch and dinner, yeah, and it was delivered to their doorstep, so they don't have to really look for food, yeah. And it's all were delicious and colorful food, which tempted them to eat every day, yeah. And this program we took for 1 month because they are diabetics, and these are people who were on insulin and tablets, yeah. And they are all chronic cases. Yeah, they've been diabetics for more than 10 years. Yeah, we did not take those with dialysis because it is not. We couldn't monitor them, and that's how we did that. And we had these fun walks every week to make sure that they keep themselves fit. Even those who were wheelchair bound also came with us to take part in this program, yeah. And we had this weekly Zoom meetings, all in Zoom, yeah. And we gave them all the pep talk and, answering all the questions that they had to make sure that they are in touch, yeah. And the results. We found that 81% of them improved in their cholesterol, although these people were taking medications, yeah. And LDL was down by 43% and non-LDL, HDL was down by 57%, which I think is good, yeah. And this is how the results before and after. The total cholesterol from 4.55 came down to 3.72. And this was the LDL. LDL also came down from 2.59 to 1.97. Yeah, and HDL, no, this is non-HDL. Yeah, non-HDL was from 3.29 to 2.55. Yeah. So HbA1c, this is quite interesting because some of them who were on medications, we always forewarn them if they go into hypoglycemia taking this food, what they should do, yeah. And I think they were aware because quite a number of them were on insulin. They knew how to adjust their doses, yeah. And many of them adjusted their doses, yeah. And 86% of the participants improved, yeah, in HbA1c, yeah. So HbA1c, which was 7.57, came down to 7.15 within 1 month. Yeah, that was quite good. Yeah, and fasting sugar from 6.75 came to 6.27, which I feel is because these people, most of them were above the age of 50. Yeah. And we gave certificate closing ceremony so that they'll be motivated. And these were the people who came back again to the alumni group, and we still handhold them and talk to them and motivate them to go on plant-based. Although not most of them, rather most of them go for all these wedding receptions and parties. They do take. So those are the cheat days when they have it on Saturdays or Sundays or any ceremonies. Yeah. And so in conclusion, so we found that this is what's happening when we change from the normal meat diet to a whole food plant-based diet. So many things can get better. Yeah. So this is just a small group compared to what India has been doing, like Dr. Pramod. He has been doing thousands of people in the last 10 years. But this is just the beginning for us, and I'm sure we'll do more. But only thing, the problem is we are funding, yeah, because all these people had to pay. And for the Diabetic Association, we paid 50%, and they had to pay 50%, which comes to almost about 300 ringgit or 400 ringgit, yeah. Whereas for the other group, which was a 14-day program, they were all paying. And they paid almost about 200 USD for 2 weeks, which means blood tests, then the meals being provided, and also consultation before and after. Yeah. In conclusion, I'd just like to say, this is what we need to do. SOS. salt, less salt, very less oil, and no sugar. So as well as we are quite used to mnemonics in medical college. So you use SOS, yeah. And we must have adequate sleep, eat mindfully, and adequate exercise. So this comes in a mnemonic of sex, yeah. So these are things that people remember, and even when they discuss, they say, yes, I'm having sex, yeah. So which means sleep, eat mindfully, and adequate exercise, yeah. So these are things that we do, and we hope that things will get better as time goes by, yeah. We plan to do this for the Malaysian Diabetic Association because many of the other branches have approached us. We want to know how government can assist us in providing some food. Yeah, you find that there are mega projects that are going on, and bigger hospitals are being built. More patients are getting in, but they don't seem to be helping on the nutrition part of it, which I think is a fault of our medical education. Let me just go on this video. This video is just a 1-minute video, which changed many people's mind. Yeah.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide. The average Canadian will spend their last 10 years in sickness. Change your future at makehealthlast.ca.
So with this, let me share my thoughts. We need to engage state and federal government, yeah, because a lot of huge money is spent on mega projects and large hospitals, yeah, and we find that larger hospitals and more patients. So what we need to do is probably think something like differently, or talk to the federal government and state government whether they can set up free healthy food kiosks around the country so that people can access to this healthy food. It can be either diabetic food or whatever food, but it must be healthy and vegetarian food mainly, yeah. So this, if they can do this, I think we will be able to see a reduction in diabetes and other NCDs, yeah. Now, I think India is embarking on, zero beggars. So I think that's a good sign. So now we should look at zero disease. Yeah. So I think with that, I would like to end my talk, and I'd like to thank you. There's a lot of discussion to be done to see how we can improve. My country is a problem because to get 98% of them to change their diet is not easy, but we will do our best to do that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.